What we have is a plant that we wanted to transplant into the ground. However, when we dug the hole, this is what we came upon, a giant rock. This rock, I think, weighs somewhere around 150 to 200 pounds, and it is our job to get that out. I cannot lift that by myself. I need some kind of aid, and that is what we are about to do. What we have is a 3/8 inch concrete anchor, a 3/8 inch eye bolt, and a 1/2 inch concrete drill for drilling the hole for the anchor. The drill has a special end on it to put it into a hammer drill as opposed to a regular drill to make it easier to drill. I have to emphasize again that the anchor has a flaring end and a threaded end. The anchor has in it a plug which has to be driven down to the flaring end so that the flaring end locks into the stone. When you buy the anchor, you should also buy a setting tool. They are matched. This is a 3/8 inch anchor, and this is a 3/8 inch setting tool. It goes into the top of the anchor and it should be driven down so that the shoulder of the setting tool goes down to the shoulder of the anchor, and this way the plug that's inside will spread the anchor apart and lock it into the stone. It is important that you get the dust out of the hole. The dust would act like ball bearings between the anchor and the stone. So it is important to remove it. All of these things I purchased at Home Depot at a relatively low price. The eye bolt itself comes with a nut. I added to it the washer. The hole is big enough that the nut itself does not seat well against the stone. It seats better against the washer, and so I think it makes for a more solid and secure contact between the eye bolt and the anchor. I had a drill and impact hammer drill that would work with regard to the actual drilling process. It turned out that the hammer drill aspect of it did not work very well. The drill just spun without much impacting, and the drilling was going very slowly. I therefore stopped using this system. Instead, I went to Lowe's Home Improvement and purchased this hammer drill. It cost around $60. It worked much better than the other system with regard to the drilling. However, I still found that when I tried to drill the hole using the 1/2 inch concrete bit, that the drilling went slow. I therefore drilled the hole in 2 stages. First, I drilled the hole with a 1/4 inch concrete bit, and then I made the hole bigger with the 1/2 inch concrete bit, and that worked better.
Go ahead.
Periodically
Is
wetting the drill to cool it off. We end up drilling a total of 3 holes. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, what we do is we blow out the hole, get rid of the dust. There we go. And we take the anchor, we push it in. Let me get the okay, and then what we do is we screw in our eye bolt. We screw in the eye bolt as far as it'll go, and then we tighten down the nut and tighten it with a wrench, like so. We did a total of 3 of them. We're going to do 3, so hopefully that would be enough. Okay. This is the rock that has the eye bolts now and is ready to be chained and pulled out of the hole. The chain I bought at Lowe's Home Improvement. It's sold by the foot. The people there will cut the chain for you at no extra cost. I bought a 3-foot, 2-foot, and 1-foot section, which I use to connect to the eye bolts on the rock, and use these various clips to attach each of the chains accordingly. The 3-foot chain I wrapped around the 2x4s at the top of the ladder, which I then hung the chain lift from accordingly. This is the rock now with the chain. Next we'll put the lift on and see if it'll hold when we try to lift it. For the actual lifting, I purchased this 1-ton chain block. I got it through Amazon. It cost roughly $60, and it worked very well. This is the system that we have set up. A couple of 2x4s with a chain around it on top of this ladder system, which spans the opening. The lift on a chain which is rated for lifting a ton, down to the chain system which is there on the rock, and now we shall see if the anchors will hold. Okay, we're raising the rock.
Oh, look at that. Here it comes.
Something I did not cover very well is making the ramp for the dolly. I had these landscaping posts which I got from a landscaping project, and there you can see the ladder system. I created the ramp to bridge the gap of the hole with these boards, which I actually fastened to the landscaping posts with screws so that the wood would not roll off the posts. Here you can now see the dolly sitting underneath the ladder, ready to accept the stone once it is lifted up high enough. It should be noted that a lot of care was taken to make sure the ladder was stable. We had to actually put pavers under two of the legs to make sure that it was relatively level, because it would be a disaster if the entire system tipped under the weight of the stone. Finally, it should be noted that once the stone was on the dolly, I then detached the chain lift from the stone and then removed the ladder. And then while I steadied the rock on the dolly and helped push it, my wife pulled the dolly toward the patio while I pushed it and made sure that the stone remained relatively stable and did not tip on the dolly. Okay, we now have the rock up on a dolly, and we're going to roll it from the hole onto the patio. Voila, here we are with the rock on the dolly and on the patio. Eventually we're actually going to move the rock back and use it sort of as a curiosity thing. Here you can see the hole, and of course there's the fateful plant that eventually is going to go into the hole. Finally, we have to show the completed project. Here you can see the rock that we removed. It's actually got some nice character to it, and there you can see the plant that was the cause of this huge project, all for the sake of a $5 plant and, of course, the challenge.